There are 5 jhanas. I told her, in Abhidhamma there are 5 jhanas, Rupa jhanas. It's a long story. Don't worry about it. You get the first jhana first. Okay, coming to this talk. So yesterday we were talking about the mental states as you develop concentration. Today we talk a bit on the object as your concentration develops. In samatha, the object plays a very major role. Because samatha is basically concentration. Yeah? About samadhi, about concentration, one-pointedness, zoom in on the object. Not the normal zoom you talk about now, no? Talk zoom is a different thing. Concentration means what? The Sujivo defines it as unification of the mind, of the wholesome consciousness with the object. Samadhi. That means what it refers is more to right concentration. Generally it's unification. In other words, it's fixation. In metaphysics we refer to as one-pointedness. One-pointedness, ekagata, refers to the mental state. The mental state, the cetasika involved. Not absorption or jhanas, or not deep concentration. Although the main mental factor involved in bringing about it is one-pointedness being developed. So it's a bit different now, not the same. So one-pointedness is not so often found mentioned in the suttas. It is found, but not so often. It more refers to samadhi, ekagata, jhana. So when you develop concentration, your mind becomes more and more focused and fixed into the object. It depends on how fixed to the object you are, the concentration varies. The more, the stronger the fixation, that means you have more concentration, it is stronger and deeper. Yeah. I usually give this example. You take a ball, round ball, put on the table. Is it fixed to the object? Is it fixed to the table? It's not. Right? Is it fixed? No, you kick it, it rolls. But still it has a force that keeps it stable there. If there's no force that keeps it there, you won't stay there, you will roll. Correct? That force is we call one-pointedness. But actually deep concentration, when one-pointedness becomes very strong, it develops, it's very strong, no? You see, when you bring a round ball, you put it on the table, there's only one small point of contact. Right? Depends on what the ball is made of and how big the ball is. Anybody play golf here? Mr. V, you play golf? Huh? What's that? What is it? A long time ago. That means you played golf. And the ball is very light, very light ball. You hit and fly. What happens if your ball is a big ball, like this, and it's made of iron, solid iron? What happens? You think you can hit it and it fly? You have to use a very strong iron hammer, not a golf club, and you whack. You're not strong enough, it so won't go. You have strong, Mr. Muscle Man or Mr. Muscle Woman. You move. Still, it rests on that one point, on contact with the ground. Why this one is so strongly fixed? Because the force above it is stronger. So what is this force? When you talk of one-pointedness and strong concentration, there are the 5 jhana factors we talked about yesterday. 5 forces. And that's why when you say concentration, fixation, and one-pointedness, they can occur at the same time, but not the same thing. Right? Now the object is what? Object is where the consciousness rests on. And then, if a strong concentration is like you have an iron nail and you hit it and you get fixed to the wood. Yeah? It's not easy to pull out. You want to be stronger, you get a screw and drill deep into it, and then it's stronger. Now that wood is the object. Yeah? And so it depends on 2 things. One is the consciousness and the object. Now it depends also on the nature of the object, how strong the concentration can be. Yeah. That's why in the Visuddhimagga for concentration they talk about 40 types of kammatthana, 40 types of object where you can develop concentration. The 10 kasinas, the 10 recollections, the 10 asubhas, foulness, what else? The 4 Brahma Viharas, the 4 Arupa Jhanas, formless. Then the loathsomeness of food. And one more is the contemplation of the 4 elements. So it becomes 40. Now these 40 objects are those recommended in the in the path of purification. And different objects can lead to different levels of concentration. Like the kasinas, red, yellow, blue, green, earth, water, fire, wind, space. Red, yellow, blue, or green, white, and light. Green and blue are considered the same color in terms of kasina. That is interesting. Is green and blue the same thing? Oh. Is red and green the same thing? No. To a color-blind person, it's the same. In Thai language, blue and green, you use the same word. In Pali, blue and green, they use the same word. Why? Maybe their perception is different. No? They perceive it like that. At least some of them. At least maybe the king, so everybody must follow the king. Isn't it, no? It's like China, no? China they say that why last time they tie the legs. No, China, the Manchu dynasty, they make the leg very small. Eh? Why? Anybody with Chinese history? Any China scholar here? 是不是? Why? I mean, I'm sure Yang Guifei doesn't have small legs. She was fat. She was fat. It seems, yeah? Yang Guifei was fat, isn't it? The concept during that time. I read in one story is because one of the empress was a Wuli Jing. Was a fox spirit. So her feet was like the fox, no? She can hide her face but cannot hide her feet. So she convinced the emperor that this is actual beauty, you know. So she made every lady also make the feet like that. I don't know if it's true or not, this is a story, Anyway, we deviated from the topic. So the object is very important. No? Some objects can give you deep concentration, some objects cannot give you so deep concentration. And certain objects come with certain mental states. Some objects give certain psychic powers when it's well developed. So each object has its particular characteristics. In the Brahma Vihara, they are beings, living beings. Can they be dead beings? Can you have dead beings? All beings are living beings, right? Is there a dead being? There's no dead being. You are dead, then you're not a being. Suppose somebody, we don't see anybody here, pantang. Let's say, I die, you know. Saya sudah mati, let's say. Then my mind is not, it's just a rotting body. You call this is a being? No, it's not being, it's a dead body, a rotting body. So it's not being. What about kui? No, you're dead already, you're born as a kui. Is that dead being? No, there's a living kui. It's a ghost. Here the life is different from the medical aspect. You must have breathing, you must have heartbeat, electric pulse, brain waves going on. This is different. This karmic energy. Can you see karmic energy? Can you measure karmic energy? Huh? Dr. V, can you measure karmic energy? They haven't invented that yet. In fact, many of the doctors don't believe in karma. I'm sure you do, huh? So anyway, so the metta, karuna, mudita, upekka, the four Brahma viharas, the object is a living being. And that's why you cannot give metta to a chair. May this chair be well and happy. It does not matter. You can hope the chair to be very good, last long, and you can take care of the chair. Nice chair, and then you'll be happy. You know, the chair has no mind. You cannot be happy, you know. You don't call that metta. Or the chair, oh, poor chair, no, I'll fix it up, karuna. No, you don't have compassion for chairs. No? So, you must have a living being. That means there has to be karmic existence, life, karmic life. So metta is the lovable being. Karuna is the unfortunate or suffering being. Mudita, sympathetic joy, is a fortunate or the happy being. Upekka is what? The being that bears his own karmic actions. He has done a lot of things and he will receive a lot of things, results. Yeah? He will bear the results. He ate so much, he will grow fat. Yeah? He eats too much sugar, he get diabetes. This is the results. That's the karmic result you see in this life, but they are past life results. You know what you did in your past life. No? So, how do you recognize the being? We know it generally. Now, all these are living beings. Is there that dead being here? There's no dead being here. No? We're all alive, we're all living beings. If the mosquito is also a living being, you can do metta to a mosquito as well. Do you do metta to mosquito? Oh, do you do metta to flies? Usually not very nice. It's a repulsive being, repulsive object. You can if you want, no? In the Khanda Parita, you know, when the monk was bitten by a snake and he died, then he told the monks, if he had done metta to snakes, he would still be alive today. And so he taught the monks to do metta to snakes. That's what the Khanda Parita, not just snakes, but all those crawly things, like mosquitoes and flies and lizards and whatever, like animals, tigers, elephants. And then, you know, you may be surprised, they'll be more sensitive than human beings, no? Human beings are sometimes very insensitive. I tell them to do one thing, they don't listen to me, they just keep talking to me. Do this, keep talking to me. Do this, you stupid fellow, and then they listen. So these are yogis, no? Sometimes people outside are worse. Like people who are salesmen or saleslady, sometimes they want to sell you things. They only want to talk. They don't give you any chance to talk. They only want to brainwash you. This is good for you. You buy this, you will die. Something like that. So you get what they said. They just totally brainwash you, and then you have no choice, you become a zombie. You buy. Yeah? This is a bit exaggerating the case, of course. But no, that's just what it is. Yeah? So, you upeka, you are sensitive, aware of the being and its consequences of its actions. Then you have equanimity. That's why the verse, the line for practice equanimity is, all beings are recipients of their own actions, karmic actions. Now, when you come to the actual practice, now you do metta, you have an object, you choose an object, you choose a suitable object, as I say for metta. The most suitable object is the lover person, the one with good qualities, virtues, the one who's a benefactor, help you a lot, the one you spend very good, have good times together. So that the moment you see the person, automatically it arises. Sometimes it doesn't, that person is not so dear. You think very hard, and then it comes. But every human being has good qualities, so it's possible to bring out this metta if you try hard enough. So in the actual practice, what do you do? Do you visualize the person? I want to do metta to go. Yeah, I can see him now. But one cannot visualize it. Where is Mr. Ku, Professor Ku? I cannot see, I can see black thing. Mr. Ku become a black thing. No. The idea is not to, visualization is one thing. You can visualize, it can help in the concentration. But visualization is not metta. Visualization is a process connected with the eye object. So there are certain people who have capacity, aptitude for visualization, then it's easier. A lot of people don't have this aptitude for visualization. For me, not so easy, I can if I try hard enough. So when I was doing samatha meditation, some practices have to do visualization. In metta, I didn't do much visualization. In other things like kasinas, you have to visualize. So, what is important thing is you are giving loving kindness to that object, to that person. You think of that person. For example, I think of Teju. Teju, be happy. I don't have to visualize him. I know I'm giving to him. In my mind, I have an idea of what he's like. Not just what he looks like, including other qualities. He's a nice fellow, he's getting older and older, things like that. All there, because the object the being is not just a visual form. All the things and all the characters, all the qualities connected with it. People usually think of the person by his form, because that's what you can see. And seeing is believing. So the moment you take birth, they give you a name, and then you take photograph, baby photos, And after that you have to go to the birth certificate, you take a photograph, and you become a prisoner, was it right, left, so top, bottom, 10 fingerprints. That's what happened to me. When I went to Italy to get my long-term visa, you have to take 10 fingerprints, palm print. You take my photo from this side, back, forward. I can't remember whether they took from the top. I don't think they took from the top. But on top would be quite an identifying picture because I'm not really any hair. So, you see, they depend on the physical form as seen to identify the person. But nowadays people very tricky. They do, they change their face. Even the fingerprints they change. They can change the fingerprint. Yeah. Even a year old, they try to do youngish stretch. The hair, they don't like the color, they change the color of the hair. All those things. Difficult. Who is the person? Five aggregates. Of the five aggregates, which is the most important? The mind. Then you take a photograph of your mind. What's Mr. Ong's mind like? Because the photograph is eye object. Mind is a mind object. So it's different. So what you have, you know the person. That's why for object of matter, if you know the person longer, it is better. So you just give Tekju. I know Tekju is there. I give, may he be happy. Of course, if I can visualize him, then easier for the concentration to build up. And you know you're giving to him. But for people who are not so good in visualization, a bit difficult. They get headache because they're trying to visualize. Sometimes they try too hard to visualize, they no more metta. They're trying to visualize. So as long as you know you're giving to the person, and sometimes you have an idea of how he looks like and who he is, that is enough for a start. So when you start giving, and so you depend more on the continuous flow of metta in that direction. The mind needs a direction. So the flow of direction will go on, and eventually, because you think of the person so often, the image will come out. Sometimes it's not the face, sometimes it's just the presence of the person. But generally, you know the person, you have seen the person, and generally the face or the form of the person will rise. And you become clearer and clearer and clearer. In this case, the object is being developed as your flow of metta is being properly directed. So at the beginning, the person you are giving to the person, the face may flash in on and off. Sometimes you know the person, maybe it's just the hand or the legs, but you know it's his hand or the legs, and things like that. So when the concentration deepens, the more complete picture of the person comes out. So this is the development of the object in metta when you're not visualizing it. Even if you're visualizing, it changes with the concentration. Okay, I look at this, William, I see William, when I can concentrate well, I can see William's face, and like that, he's smiling, he's happy, and so on. That's not good enough. When your concentration deepens, his face becomes brighter, shining, he smiles even more. And then finally the light, the head also shining. Things. Why? Because your mind is very clear and very bright. It becomes super clear. When it gets clearer and nearer to the observation, then the pure conceptual object of the person comes in. It's just a shape, just lines. And often it is just bright and transparent, like a mirror, like a glass. That's the pure concept of the person. Because the object of concentration is a concept. The concept of the person is taken by the mind, individual mind is different. Generally it's bright, transparent. Generally, because the mind at the stage is clear and transparent. Because the mind, the concept is a mind-formed object, mind-created object. At this time you cannot think, I want to get the concentration first. I make a glass William. It's different, you're concentrating on glass, you're not concentrating on William. These are mental objects, not visual objects. And so it develops. So when this special object arises, we call it nimitta. Pati bhaga nimitta. Pati is counter, bhaga is part. Sometimes they call it counter image. Sometimes they call it mirror image. There's different translators. But then pati bhaga nimitta arises. Then you are very close to jhanas. And it is with this object one enters, fusion takes place into jhanas. Okay? And so on. This retreat, I'm not going to talk to you much about jhanas. Because you're starting just beginning, no need to know too much. Know too much, you start thinking. You want, you can read about it. It's all in the Visuddhimagga. When other people tell you, you better be careful. A lot of people think they have jhanas, but they're not jhanas. I remember once, very funny thing, somebody went to Burma to learn jhanas. Then when I asked you, what is arupa jhana like, infinite space? Oh, I'm sitting there, I don't have any head, my head was like a very big space. How come? So, don't simply listen to people. What is important is that the metta is strong enough first to bring about the benefits. First is to overcome your anger. Anger is the worst, creates the worst karma, comes from anger. Secondly, it can give you tranquility, peace of mind, so they can live a happy life. And this is metta, then you're able to work with people very easily. And after that, you have all other benefits. And a very important one is it becomes concentrated enough quickly so that you can go into vipassana without too much problems. Too much pain, cannot start. You go to metta a while, then you feel happy, then you go back again. So you can practice as a base for practice of vipassana. Because there are other benefits which are more applied. When you have strong concentrated metta, like you have jhanas, even if you have excess concentration, it brings about a lot of benefits. One thing is the healing, because a pure mind produces pure matter, clean matter. Defiled mind provides defiled matter, means harmful matter. So when you have anger, the mind produces a lot of terrible toxins in your body. Your pure mind is clear, clean blood and so on. It washes away a lot of toxins and rubbish. It promotes good circulation and so on. I noticed that, when you have good concentration and like metta, it's good because in a cold place you feel warm. In a warm place you feel cold. It's very good. It balances the thing. And one day I noticed, last time I was very skinny, like a walking skeleton. I never grew fat. But when I made metta, I hardly ate anything. Flesh started appearing everywhere. Why? Where did the metta come from? Not from the food, from the joy. Joy is a kind of food. So, what happens? You are a lady and you want to be beautiful. What happens? You become fat. The more joy you have, the more fat you become. Not so bad, you see. Young Kui was fat, but everybody liked her. The emperor loved her. The idea is not about fat, it's about healthy. Metta would definitely promote your health. Generally, if you're mindful, you're metta, you also won't eat so much. But you notice, a lot of fat people, they are always laughing, They have joy. Not because of metta, because they're happy. So this is about the development of the object. Now, as we know that this metta is part of the consciousness, and this consciousness and this metta are conditioned. That means they're linked to all other mental states. And so there are a number of things that are close to metta. These are, we call the four Brahmaviharas, the four sublime states. Loving kindness, then there is this compassion, then there is this sympathetic joy, and there is this equanimity. Loving kindness is like a friend. Like the parents are the child's first friends. Who's going to help him, take care of him? Parents. Compassion is like a doctor or nurse. When you're sick or you're in pain, I attend to you so your suffering can be elevated. Mudita, sympathetic joy, is like a supporter. Just like It's like, your friend go and play badminton, Thomas Cup. So they come on. Like, for example, Melinda Tang represent Malaysia for playing table badminton. So all Melaka people say, oh, come on, we didn't take it. And so when she smashes the opponent on the head, I say, yeah! Mudita like that. So but only for good things, not bad things. Not like I saw the story about this Sujivo. The Sujivo is a gang. Sujivo water merchant, a gang. So all these criminals get together and become good guys. So when they find a corrupt officer, and one of them kills him, then the others say, how, very good. They rejoice in the killing of the... And then the one is not mudita, just a joyful killing. So, mudita only for good things. Or you see a friend drinking, eat right now, you cannot stop. Yeah, very good. Oh, eat some more. Well, you get stomach ache. So, there's no mudita. There's a kind of joyful obsession. And then equanimity is like a very balanced person. Like a judge who's able to make proper decisions and whatnot. You can see everything in a balanced manner. The mind is clear. Upeka is something like that. But these four are related in the same way, in the sense of the object. The object is a living being. It's a living being. And it can extend to all beings. What do you mean by all beings? All beings, how many beings are there? Chu, how many beings are there? Can you count them? How many was the population of Melaka? Anybody knows? Ping-Fong, Cikgu. 600,000. Our politician knows. How many votes do you get? How many votes do you get? $600 million. 600 million will be more than China. 600,000. 600 million, sorry. I'm sorry, no, 600,000. Now, when you can million, can you count? You can still count, no? You take a long time to count, 100 million, 1,000 million, can you count? It comes to a point that you cannot count. It means unlimited. We call it immeasurable. Cannot be measured. That's why the Pali word for this Brahma Viharas, Karuna Mudita, are called appamanya. Appamanya means immeasurable. Cannot be measured. So, It shows that how strong, how great these mental states can be developed. The more you can keep praying, then the stronger it is. It's just like a light, you know. How strong is your light? It's just like how many pixels is your photograph. Your picture is only 1 pixel. What is that? Just 1 spot only. Huh? So if you're more pixels, that means the object is clearer. And if you have 1 million pixels, it's something else. So like light, when it's strong, it can shine brighter. When it's very strong, you expand it, you can, like the sun, can shine on the whole planet. So similarly, to give you the extent how strong concentration can be, because the mind cannot measure. What the mind can know, what the mind can think, cannot measure. Of course, ordinary person are limited. Can you remember what you did today? Can you remember what you did yesterday? After a while you cannot anymore. It's limitations. But the Buddha has what we call, what's the word of it? I can't remember. There's a Pali word for it. It's a knowledge that is unlimited. That means his mind is so strong they can know anything in the universe. Once my teacher told me about Sariputta's wisdom. You know what is Sariputta's wisdom like? He said, how many raindrops fall in the world in one day, he knows. He can tell you something like that. Wisdom. How many raindrops fall in Melaka in one day? 0. That one I can tell you. No rain. Panas sampai mati. But that one does not need that type of wisdom. Some common sense. And so these are the 4 Brahma Viharas. They are what you call positive mental states towards living beings. They give a simple example in the text. It says, when the mother first see the child, there's loving kindness. When the parents see the child sick, and they take care of him. And there's compassion. When the child grows up to be healthy, to be happy, to be clever, they're happy for him. This sympathetic joy. But when they grow up, he's got his own life to live. He knows he can take care of himself, then he leaves them alone. Unless necessary, they come and help. Otherwise, he has his own life. We don't interfere. Because if you start getting attached, you stick everywhere, stick to the left of you, stick to the right, you stick all over you, and then you become suffocated. And that's not metta, that is attachment, clinging. Just not only tie your own neck, but you tie other people's neck. So it is a factor of what you call good relationship, good emotion, balance. But one event is more suitable for another. For example, if the person is sick, you use compassion. No? If this person is okay, you see him, you take him as a friend, use metta. If the person is happy, celebrating, his birthday, you're happy for him. The person is what's called in trouble, and you cannot do anything to help him. You remain equanimous, so that you can still take the right action and do what you can. Not affected. Well, generally what happens is you have metta. Then after that, when suffering, you give compassion. When at good times, you have sympathetic joy. And when nothing works, you have equanimity. This advice given is that, let's say you're dealing with different people. And they are, for example, is dealing with difficult people, problematic people. Who are problematic people? People with a lot of problems. Some have problem to themselves, some have problem to other people. They're problematic. So what you could do in such cases, when a person is in a terrible state, you ask him to have metta, nice, make hello, can you do that? Of course you can do that. But more effective will be you have compassion. Let's say this person is problematic. Why? Because let's say keeps disturbing you. Because, for example, he doesn't like you, he starts picking on you, or he starts scolding you. So 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, metta, it doesn't work because the person really hates you. So what do you do? How do you overcome that anger? You're not careful, you get angry. Now you get angry. Not to get. Of course, the first rule in any fight, let's say, what do you do? The first rule when you come into conflict, run. You coward. No, if I can avoid it, why should I fight? They're only losers. You say, sometimes you can't really fight, run away. You have to take a stand. Take a stand. The first stand, the last stand. When you take your stand and show your teeth. That's why you corner the dog until nowhere to run. And the dog, because there's nowhere to run. The only thing is to fight for his life. But we are not animals. We always have to be more diplomatic and skillful and soft. And so you think of compassion. This fellow is not feeling well. He must have a lot of problems. So maybe you can remove your anger. And maybe you're able to help him also. Of course, in such cases you have to be careful. You must use, just compassion is not enough. You have to use wisdom, worldly wisdom. When you meditate, he come to you and then so you have compassion. My mother has problems. Can't blame her. So we can overcome it, but it's too strong, it doesn't work. So what do you do? Upeka. He has a lot of bad karma, and if you keep doing this, you will have worse karma. And so I better not get involved with this karma. Equanimity. If I get angry, I do bad karma also. So So from if it doesn't work, mindfulness and the metta doesn't work, you go to karuna. If karuna doesn't work, you go to upeka, equanimity. That's the general procedure. So there's a time for this and a time for that. Generally, people who do samatha, or generally in life, don't say samatha, in life, they use all four of them. Because when in a great suffering place, then you do compassion and so on. So there's a time for compassion, time for sympathy, time for equanimity, time for loving kindness. But generally, overall, in the beginning, you use loving kindness. Now, one more last word is that about practicing in daily life. Just something short. Here in the retreat, we are always telling you to do metta of one person. You do this mindfulness to balance, because not always you have metta. So when you have no metta, your mind gets a bit unbalanced. You go back to mindfulness to balance up. When you balance up mindful, then you can come back again. Otherwise you get frustrated, you get angry. 没有意思, no meaning. I see it here, I'm getting angry, frustrated, like a stupid idiot. So you balance up and then you can continue. You do to one person because you do to one person, your concentration gets deeper, faster, rather than running here, running there. But when you go to daily life, you don't have to be too restricted. And tomorrow morning when you're going home, about to go home, you can start relaxing. In the sense that you can do metta, to try to do metta to other people, not that one person. So you can have some practice and how it feels like to do to other people. If you're doing to your mother, then you do to your father, or to your brother, or to but you try on a difficult person, you get angry, then better not go back. But you can, daily life you meet with so many people and you have to try to have metta or karuna always. So your mind, emotion towards people is always positive. Yeah? So generally, in daily life you are more flexible. Not only to the objects of metta that you do, but also with regards to vipassana. For example, usually we emphasize more on vipassana because it is the main theme of Buddhism. Without vipassana, there's no Buddhism. Without vipassana, there's no freedom from samsara. So that is the most important, the heart of Buddhist practice, vipassana. But metta also very important, is indispensable in life. Without metta, karuna, mudita, no, you'll be only the lonely. So you will have some friends, but not many friends. And so sometimes it's difficult for you. People who don't mix around a lot, they find difficulty with getting things done and so on. And so it's also necessary to have good metta, very useful. And so you see how much you want to do of it. It's up to you to plan. Generally, if we think that vipassana is more important, you can do metta and you want to do two. Then you can do metta first as a preparatory, metta to oneself, metta to another, or to all beings. And then after that, for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, your mind is in a good state, then you go to vipassana. For other times, you may do more metta. For example, you find difficult to sleep. Difficult to sleep, then you do mindfulness to calm yourself down a bit. Then you start doing metta. When you start doing metta, you feel joy, you feel nice objects come to mind, and before you know it, you are quack already, huh? Become Mr. Sleeping Duck. So things like that, no? And then you have good dreams, you wake up happy, sleep happy, dream nice dreams, wake up happy, and then you start that good day well again. Also times you know, for certain things like your friend is sick, you want to do healing, then you do metta or you can do karuna. No? If your concentration is strong, it works. Even you're here and he or she is far away, it also works. Because in the mind, there's no distance. This distance is because your mind is limited. You haven't been thinking of the person for a long time. So this is rusty, somewhere in the refrigerator. So that one is up to you to plan how your meditation schedule is. Everyone will be different. We can stop here today.